Do angels exist? Are healing miracles real? Is there life after death? Can people get supernatural help from another dimension? Has the future been written in advance? Sid Roth has spent 25 years researching the strange world of the supernatural. Join Sid on this edition of It's Supernatural.
Outrageous. My guest in the car ride here to the studio brought up something. I mean, this is the world's foremost expert in cults, in deliverance, in occult. His name is Bob Larson. You've probably seen him on television. I can understand him going after something like Harry Potter. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But the Chronicles of Narnia, I mean, good versus evil. I mean, actually, the gospel in an allegorical form with this line and getting it. I mean, Hollywood has been so corrupt for so many years, and now we're finally getting something talking about good things and feel-good movies. And so, Bob Larson, why do you say that it's not a godly movie?
You got a good argument here. You're almost convincing me. No,
not really. But we'll go to another subject.
Well, I mean, everything you say is true. And allegorically, although Lewis warned, don't read too much into it. You know, C.S. Lewis said at times it was the gospel, at times it wasn't the gospel. Nobody knows what he really meant and really intended. But the problem that I have is that it crosses over a line in that you have a number of characters and beings in there, minotaurs, centaurs, incubus spirits, and many of these beings are actually on the side of good, and the worst of which is Mr. Tunis, this faun, satyr, who is half goat, half human. He's the good guy on the good side. This is the classical, historic, in Satanism, representation of Lucifer.
So you mean someone that is in Satanism would go to that movie and get even more excited than a Christian?
Well, they would at least identify with that character and get a little bit of a chuckle that that the theater is filled with Christians who are there thinking it's an allegorical representation of the gospel when you've got the personification of Lucifer on the screen hopping around in cloven hooves. I mean, there's some confusion here, and you can't just send kids who are Christians to that movie without an adequate explanation.
Here's what I hear you saying, Bob. What I hear you saying is that it's pushing Christianity a little further away from biblical, godly positions so that perhaps the next one might push them over the edge.
It's a very dangerous thing to eclectically mix the gospel and any sort of Christian truth with things that are outright demonic. Now, you know, I can't read C.S. Lewis's mind. I don't know what he was thinking at the time. He was an Oxford scholar. He studied the classic literature modes, and you know, maybe to him it was something that was archetypal, it was philosophical, but in a world in which sorcery and witchcraft and the occult are so prevalent and seducing so many of our young people today, I think it's a dangerous step over the mark. And any Christian parent who's going to say their kids should go see this movie, it better be aware of what they're seeing.
Bob Larson was recently in New Zealand, and he was conducting a meeting, and there's a man by the name of Shane who literally was abused by his father at knife point as a child. Horrible situation. I want you to see what happens when Bob actually picks him out in the audience and begins to move with the power of God. Let's go to that clip.
My Bible. Look at him. What's your first name, sir? Sue. Huh? Sue. Shane? You're with him? What's your relationship?
Engaged.
Engaged. I divide soul and spirit. I separate Shane from the angry part. From angry Shane.
Tonight, I come here expecting something to happen, to be more freer.
What happened? Who do you hate and why?
My father.
What'd your father do?
He
Raped you and what? Handed you off to a friend? What'd you say?
I feel like he handed me off to my friend.
He put a knife to your throat and raped you, your own father? No wonder you want to kill him. I want to kill him too if he deserves to die.
I was just rage, just so much hate, so much anger, resentment, retaliation.
Look at me. You're a good man, Shane. Your father did a bad thing. He did it because somebody did it to him. And a curse that goes way back. Something that evil could only be the result of a long embedded curse. You're here tonight because God's going to set you free. If you'll let him right now. I'm going to take you through a couple of processes. Look at me. I take the sword of the Spirit and I divide soul and spirit, and I divide Shane the man from Shane the boy. I want the boy. I want the little boy who was raped. I want you to look at me. I want little Shane to look at me. Your daddy's a mean daddy. He's a very bad daddy. He's doing something very bad. You don't like it, do you? It hurts. And you hate what he's doing. You hate him for doing it, don't you? Don't you? Bad, isn't it?
A lot of that is to do with the anger that was just built within, and it was like, I guess, like a ticking time bomb, really, ready to explode.
It's okay. I'm sorry for what Daddy did. You can get rid of this thing, but here's what you got to do now. You got to fight. I know the hurt is there. I know there's going to be a tendency for you to slip back into this depressed, defeated, anguished state. But now you're a soldier to fight. You left an axe in the car. So I'm going to give you a sword instead. And that's what we're going to fight with. We're going to fight with that sword. Who are you? Your name. Your name, Spirit. Your name, Spirit. Who are you? Enter! Jezebel! Why Jezebel? How many generations do you go back, Jezebel? How many generations? How many? No judgment, stand back, please. How many? 12. And what happened 12 generations ago? Answer me, Jezebel. What happened 12 generations? Rape and murder. I loose the dogs of Jezreel on you, Jezebel. I bind you to murder and perversion and all of your kind. The curse is broken, Jezebel. Get up and face me. Get up. The curse is broken. Renounce! Every right to this child of God. Say, this child of God. It means a child of God. Say, this child of God, Jezebel. Say, this child of God. Child of God. Say it. Child of God. God. Say, we lift the curse. Lift the curse. On him. And future generations. Say, for what we give. We receive. 7 times greater. 7 times greater. The judgment. Almighty God. Receive it. Receive it, Jezebel. Receive the judgment of God. Every child that was molested, everyone who was murdered, receive the judgment. Get up, Jezebel. There's a reason I'm provoking this thing and making it do this. Get up fully, Jezebel. Up fully. Now you're getting